What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Super excited to be with Genfinity, interviewing a multitude of builders across Web3. We have quite the panel up here today. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to Hashpack. These all hands on deck spaces are supported by Hashpack, Hashgraph, Hedera, as well as others. But Hashpack, thank you so much for all the support as always. So we have Mei Chan from Hashpack with us today. We've got GRELF, who reached out over the past couple of weeks, wanted to come back on and talk a little bit about the Hedera ecosystem. We have Baz from Legends of the Past. These guys have been building for years. Their game just went into kind of open beta testing, and they have some pretty ridiculous stats to share with us about what that testing is kind of represented. It's really cool to see GameFi coming to the Hedera ecosystem. We have Brady from Bonzo, DeFi alive and well within Hedera. We have Tia from the Good Society. We're going to be talking about the plastic-free July art exhibition that's going on. And then CryptoWendyO should be joining momentarily as well. But I guess I'll just kind of start round robin here and free for all. How's everybody feeling? I mean, it's been pretty crazy to kind of watch the state of the Hedera ecosystem in wider space recently. And yeah, what are you guys' thoughts?
There's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot of great energy in the space, and Hbar has been on a tear, so I guess we are all very happy about that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Go.
Now, to me, well, obviously, like metrics and data is good, but aside than that, what I love about the current momentum is like discussing with people, like publicly or privately, and seeing that everything comes all together, and we always have that same energy and people helping each other out since the beginning. But now, years later, people are still there, people are happy, people are helping each other and still welcoming others. I'll talk later about some cool activity stuff, that community activities that happened recently for our games, and that was very warmly to see.
Awesome. Brady, I mean, what are you guys seeing? I mean, you kind of are in an interesting seat right now because you kind of get to see what the activity looks like on the network. And, what are you kind of seeing recently?
Yeah, from a DeFi perspective, all of the on-chain metrics are looking really great. If you go check out DeFi Llama right now, there's a few protocols that have been added recently there, which helps boost TVL, like Libre Capital, which is an interesting one that I think is focused around RWAs. As prices go up, it's an impact in US dollar denominated TVL that's displayed on DeFi Llama, so that's always helpful too. From the Bonzo finance protocol perspective, there's definitely a significant boost there in USD denomination. We're seeing a lot of borrows of USD, so USDC on Hedera, which is great. I think that happens just generally across the ecosystem when there are changes and sort of market volatility and price improvements. I think people are wanting to borrow USDC to be able to perform advanced DeFi functionalities, things that you can do with the borrowing of USDC, like longing assets. So it's been exciting. And then all of the announcements too with Hbar Foundation have just been really great. We've seen so many integrations that have gone live. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, May, briefly about just the amount of stuff that's been shipped and just a handful of, I don't want to say a handful of weeks, but just a couple of months. I can think Kraken, and I mean Robinhood. Yeah, what are there's been a bunch.
It is crazy. I want to. They're not here today, but I want to shout out the Hbar Foundation, or I guess they're now Hedera Foundation, and the team that has been doing a lot of the work this summer. They've been doing an amazing job. I've heard of a lot of teams that have gotten grants. And they put together Robinhood and Kraken in a really short amount of time too. And it's just there's momentum that's building. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that is now unleashing a lot of teams that are building on Hedera. A lot of our OG developers and enthusiasts that have been building things in the background have gotten grants as well, I hear. Just small support ones, especially for single dev teams. But it's just great that we now have this kind of excitement in the ecosystem and this kind of support, and now we have a bull market. underway, and I really hope that we're going to see things move fast. It's exciting.
Well, I know this month's ramping down, Tia, for you, and I know, like, I'm glad we were able to get you in as well from the Good Society standpoint. I would love if you could maybe tell us a little bit about what you have facilitated throughout the month of July with this art exhibition. Tia, are you there? Did she freeze on us?
We might have lost her.
We lost her a little bit. Tia, if you want to hop
Rest in peace.
and maybe hop back in,
think
we'll
it's
come back.
Okay, we've got video.
We do have
Can
video.
you hear us? We are speaking to you from the magic box.
Tia, if you want to, let me message in the studio. Let's go to Baz. Baz, I'm going to share your screen here. Can you walk us through what we've kind of witnessed with Legends of the Past over the past couple of weeks and what this represented for you guys? And I'll load up the screen here for you.
Sure. Cool. Thank you for that. Well, last week was crazy. Why? Well, first it was crazy for us because we have been like building Legend of the Past for years now. And we've gone through like different like gameplays, game mode, testing what was working, what was not. And then a lot of the work was to implement like the multiplayer, because we are multiplayer. So you need to have like servers working all around the world so that we have players in the same lobbying, entering the same gaming session. Anyway, and last week was crazy because it worked. We simply like opened the game on, and what I mean open is like we released, like two, links on X to have access to like a test flight, so private test flight, or the equivalent for like Android on the Google Play Store. And organically, we've had more than 7,000 like unique players who download and play the games. And overall, more than downloads, we've also had like an amazing and substantial, gaming activity. It's not only like one player who plays once and then leave, but well, as you can see, we've had, like more than 82,000 games played in a week. And overall, some players have played like hundreds of game sessions and were playing like every day. In terms of retention, we also have like very strong retention metrics on D1. So after one day, on average, we're at 60%. And so like 60% of players are coming in on the next day. For a mobile game, this is very positive. Similarly, for D4, we are averaging, 40%. So similarly, players are coming in again and again and again. And I'm quite excited to have these first early metrics, because it was still, like a first beta, access. The game is not fully finished. We are working on implementing the progression system and new legends and new game modes. But like seeing that the gameplay was fun and more than data, and I will conclude on that, what was the best feeling, honestly, in the world was to like see, like our like Discord, like a public, channel that was like acting crazy last week, but seeing the people who have supported the project and who have been following us for years and staying true like to our game, seeing like their feedbacks and having them all like super happy to see where we are and super satisfied with the quality of what we are like developing. That really like warmed our heart. And just to conclude on Hedera, what I also loved is our like true believers, people who have been like following us since the beginning. They also were amazing, first entry to others, because well, you must have guessed on the 7,000 unique players, it's not only Hedera. We've also been, with partnerships, some like, for instance, the Cajun community, which is an active Web3 gaming community, gave us like some shout out. We also have some like influencer. Again, it's not KOL or paid marketing, but simply people who are speaking about the game. So that's how we got a lot entries of new like players joining in. And our core true believers on Hedera were very like welcoming and boarding everyone, telling them about like the different tech and everything. So that was amazing, an amazing week.
So what do you, I mean, I guess the thoughts, that I kind of have is this is, obviously it's really cool to see people kind of playing the game, but I know from your guys' end and kind of building this out, you're using this as an opportunity to, I'm assuming, take some feedback and things like that. What are some of the feedback that you guys have gotten over the past couple of weeks that maybe have made you potentially think about something in a different way, or potentially are there things that you plan on tweaking? Like, yeah, if you could go through that, that'd be cool.
So you have two things. You have, like general feedback. And so what we've done is after like the launch of the game, we've like added like a survey at the end of the game. And so we've had like more than 1,000 people who like took the time to actually like submit it. So like, we have a lot of data to process in terms of like general feedback. And then we have, I think, not more importantly, but very helpful from a game, like development point of view is like we have, like trackers within the game. And now we can have like heat map. We can see how people were interacting with the project, and we have like substantial data to see like what is working, what's not, how people were interacting with the project. And from that, we can go deeper. But overall, we had some feedbacks for it's quite, like minor, but like for 5% of the overall gaming session, sometimes it crashed. We have servers like on the 5 continents, but sometimes, mostly in India and elsewhere, it was working smoothly and fine. But in India, we've had some like game sessions that crashed. So I think we have to like double down and add more servers in India. But now again, we have a global, worldwide, like map where we can identify where it's fully working, where we can double down. And yeah, I'm excited for the next step.
Awesome. Hey, Wendy, thank you for joining us today. First time on this show, so it's really cool to have WendyO supporting as well. I know kind of another OG in the Hedera ecosystem. Wendy, though, I mean, you're kind of in a similar boat as like I am to an extent, from like you get to see a lot of different things from a lot of different networks. And, we just had Baz showing Legends of the Past and some of the stats they had in kind of open beta with, I think 7,000 unique players, things like that. What are just kind of your broad thoughts on like, gaming as far as like the intersection of DLT, blockchain, and gaming, and where you think it might be going?
Well, first off, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm sorry, I'm having like weird issues with my stuff at home. Like none of the electronics are working. I think, isn't Mercury still in the microwave right now? Maybe that's why, I don't know. But apologies, I'm late. So as far as gaming goes, one of the things that I think, can I be very brutally honest?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I don't want to get anyone mad. So I think gaming and crypto, they go together perfectly. We all know that's why Vitalik created Ethereum to an extent. So one of the things that I see, because I get lots of different projects, like different ecosystems that reach out, one of the things I would actually like to see that I think would really, really, really do well with gaming, I would like to see more mobile games being made, like silly games, like games like Bejeweled, or just those types of games. And the reason why is like, I'm sorry, is it Gerbert? Is that how you say your name?
That's completely correct. Yes. Did you have a question for me?
No, I'm gonna get distracted because you're so cute.
Oh my goodness. Is this why you brought her on here? Just to make the old GRELF blush.
Okay, I'm gonna try to, because I'm overstimulated right now. So, but because like I'm on my phone. Like even when I travel, I use my phone for everything. My kid, she has a cell phone. She loves Roblox. She plays Minecraft. She just got a laptop. But I would just like to see a lot more crypto games, even like just silly ones, like things that people can utilize in different ecosystems on their cell phone. Because I think that would be easier to kind of, because there's a hardcore gaming community, and a lot of them, they're like on the Xbox and the PlayStation and the desktop. But I would like to see games that are on the phone that appeal to like moms or people that are on the go, things that like people can just use to kill time. Because let's face it, we are all in crypto. We all travel a lot. And when you're at the airport bored, like, so
does anybody remember the game Peggle? It's probably the same people that made Bejeweled. Nobody makes a clone of Peggle, but I want a crypto Peggle.
I want to play some Tetris, or like, I don't know. I think
or that bookworm game.
Yeah. I think that there's a big opportunity for that. So I think it's coming. I just think that right now it's like another issue that I'm seeing like within crypto in general is there's not a lot of the emphasis is on crypto Twitter, because that's where all or crypto X, because that's where all the crypto people are. But there's such a big audience like outside of that, like on Instagram and on Facebook and on TikTok and YouTube also. So I feel like we need to, like, gaming companies, doesn't matter what chain, but I feel like we should try to we should try to incorporate people from all different demographics. You know, I think that would help too. But again, I think gaming and crypto is a perfect combination. It's just going to kind of take time to where we make it seamless. Because again, at the end of the day, nobody wants to have to wait for a transaction to confirm, and that's why a lot of the gaming that we're seeing pop off is on other chains like Hbar and Avalanche and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
In my personal opinion.
No, I think that, you know, making like onboarding into this space. I know that we've like heard a lot about like account abstraction and stuff like that over the past couple of years to make it a lot easier in social logins and things. But I totally agree. I mean, I think that we are in the minority of people that, you know, I know that people argue about transactions per second and all these random things right now. When the whole world is using crypto and it's ingrained into our daily lives, people aren't going to be like arguing about TPS. They're going to be like actually just using crypto is just going to be being used under the hood.
Yeah. Like
May, I know you wanted to go, and then I'm going to go to Brady here. And yeah.
Well, I think that Legends of the Past is a great example. I think it is a mobile game. Not that I think it is a mobile game. You can just hop in and play, and even my team's been having a lot of fun with it. You can just start playing, and I think that you guys have done an amazing job of making this game, and you've been around for so long, and finally it's launched, and we're excited, right?
Thank you.
And you've been such a big part of the community, and like we even have like hashpack ads rolling in there, so it's even like you're ingrained into the Hedera community. It's great. And then you have NFTs, and I'm sure more things that are coming out that we're going to be collaborating with on the hashpack side. So like really excited about that. And then on the topic of like casual games too, Wendy, there's some teams that are building, like I'm in contact with one of the teams, and they're like really early stages, but we're hoping to find some way to roll in pack with some kind of gaming kind of thing, and just something really small, like easy to like understand, and maybe not the most impressive AAA game you've ever seen, but something to get involved and do things.
And I think too, like the thing is that people just want like, I like Bejeweled isn't like super fun. Like it's just, and again, it's just an example I bring up, but I also think it's super that hashpack and different crypto wallets play a very important role into the transaction aspect. And I don't know if like transaction, like I don't know for gaming if we can say transaction or swap. Like I don't know the proper verbiage, but I think that you guys do play a very important link to that, because your guys' job is really kind of behind the scenes to make things as seamless as possible, so that the people that are playing the games, whether it's a AAA game, a silly game on the phone, whatever it is, that it's completely seamless and that everything is going through. So yeah. I think we're getting there, but I think it's just going to take time. That's all.
It's funny that you mentioned Bejeweled, because there's actually a Bejeweled clone in development called GRELF's Garden. That's true.
Can you send it when it's done? Can you send it to me so I can play?
Absolutely. We're gonna have little boss fights, and you're gonna hear my aggravating, grating voice, during it, telling you, that's not how you garden. What are you pulling the roots like that? But I love Bejeweled, so a Bejeweled clone was my first thought. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I saw a comment, because this is going to be, and Wendy, you kind of came into the Wild West, because we've got gaming from Legends of the Past, obviously Brady and Bonzo and DeFi, May and Hashpack, Tia with La Good Society, so kind of the giving back, and she's going to go over the stuff they're doing with this art exhibit for plastic free, and then GRELF from the meme standpoint. So a little bit of everything. I want to make sure I get to everybody. But GRELF, I saw a comment a couple days ago, and I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that said, for those that aren't aware, obviously, like there's like a little bit of like a resurgence right now in Hedera, like in a lot of, there's been attention on like some of the meme stuff going on. But I saw one of the comments, it's like, it's sad that we're like in Hedera and there's like these memes popping, like everybody's talking about memes now. I kind of take a little bit of a different opinion, and like I kind of look at memes as like, if they're bringing attention to the ecosystem and you understand what you're getting into and you understand the risk associated and all that stuff, it's like at least people are talking about the ecosystem. So I kind of look at the positive.
No, actually, I agree with that guy. They're stupid. I mean, what even is a crypto coin? At the end of the day, I don't know what GRELF does. I don't even know how much it's worth or if it's worth anything. No, I agree with that guy. Memes are dumb. I'm dumb. So therefore I am a meme. That's just how it is.
Well, you're in a unique position of being pretty much the first meme on Hedera that maybe some people don't realize, but I remember back in the day,
Some people they turn a blind eye to it. They say, how could something that so, well, you know, Wendy thinks I'm attractive, but I would say that her tastes are not mainstream yet. You know, a lot of people are surprised that you know, I've been going as long as I have. Fun fact, you know, GRELF's been going on for nearly 3 years. In August, we're going to have our 3rd birthday. For a Memecoin, that's a year in crypto is like 5 years. Feels
anything
like,
over 9 minutes is like
Yeah.
being married for 50 years.
Yeah, you know, I've been married to this old bat Hedera for way too long, and she never lets me have fun with the boys.
What are your
I
thoughts right
remember what
now
I was
about,
talking about, so maybe we just keep going.
what are your thoughts right now about kind of some of the stuff? I know obviously there's been a lot of like momentum around like Gib, and you know, I see some of the other ones recently too. Shouldn't have named any, but
I mean, nobody
anyways,
wants to be
yeah.
the only fish in a pond. It's good when people are caring about other memes that can only care about mine. I mean, between you and me, GRELF was not created to be famous. It was just a joke. It was a long time ago. Like, we barely had swaps. I mean, it was shortly after Saucer Swap was even a thing.
I think it was right after NFTs went live, and like what was like 2021, wasn't that 2021?
No,
Somebody can
GRELF wasn't
correct me.
2021. It was
Wasn't it?
Early 2022.
Okay.
But, you know, all I'm saying is, like, you know, I'm fine with peeps. I'm fine with competition. I kind of do my own thing, you know, if you haven't picked up on that. Nobody wants just one meme coin in a place, because then you're just a guy alone in a room. You know?
I mean, I'll stick to my opinion, and I've said this like I because I believe it, is that, you know, and this is nothing against any ecosystem, but if you see stuff on like Solana go to $1 billion market cap, I think it's possible on Hedera. I think it's possible on XRPO. I think it's possible on pick a network, because I think really it comes down to, like, you know, community building and people coming together and kind of, I don't know. I'm not saying, you know,
I mean, and a large
go all in
amount of
on
luck.
memes. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm also not like super against it, because at the end of the day, I think the majority of crypto in this entire space is still 99% speculative.
You're saying buy GRELF now, you will be a millionaire. Is what you're telling me.
No, I'm
Can I
not
just
saying
tell you
that.
guys, I don't mean to interrupt. Well, I do that because I've
Sure.
got ADHD. It's not an excuse. But anyways, really quickly on meme coins. And this is actually good for dino coins, for good utility projects. And when I say dino coins, I'm talking about like Hedera and Hbar and that stuff like that. But
The
it's not
crusty boys.
it's not in a negative aspect. Dino coins are like, a lot of them are tried and true, like really when you think about it. Okay, so Pump.Fund came out with this, or excuse me, one of the crypto news sites reported on this. It was from DGen News, and they says Pump.Fund daily revenue below 300,000 for the first time since September 2024, and this is according to DeFi Llama. So me reading that, and you know, because again, I've got my audience on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, like all the platforms. But actually reading that is bullish for me. Very, very bullish for Dino Coins, because it's actually showing that we actually have numbers indicating that people are kind of moving away from meme coins a little bit and starting to really kind of refocus their attention on utility coins, on these Dino coins, which in the long term, that's incredibly bullish. Meme coins are great. They've got their own, you know, they've got their own market and, you know, their own interest and whatnot. But at the end of the day, not everybody is cut out.
At the end of the day, they're based on nothing. They're based on absolutely nothing. And that, for an asset, it's tough.
Crypto is cyclical too. Money flows between different asset classes as things progress. And so we're going to see it happen, like just like last time there was altcoin season after Bitcoin went up. And so money flew out of Bitcoin into altcoins, and then altcoins into meme coins, and then it goes back into, right? It's all this kind of thing. So yeah, now things are moving. Now we're going to see different projects take the spotlight, and it's just going to keep rolling.
Well, when that guy posted the Dino coin thing, I think that was like maybe last summer, last fall, was that younger guy on crypto Twitter and I forget his name, but anyways, he like mentioned Dino coins. He's like, why are these things trending on my timeline? He doesn't realize that like a lot of the stuff that we see go live from like Hedera or from, you know, any of the networks that have been here for a handful of years, those are things that only can go live because there's been years of testing and years of trust that's been built.
Yeah.
You know, you don't sit there and, you know, put value add into the traditional financial system or whatever, like whatever different industry vertical you want to talk about, supply chain, whatever, without actually like building up that trust, having real world, you know, trials, and then eventually getting to like production grade use cases. But that stuff takes like years. Some of this stuff that we've seen live that go live with Hedera, like the stuff with Australia Payments Plus is a perfect example, which is like
ETF.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the AP Plus stuff, they were running micropayments trials with FPOS in 2020, 2021. So there's like 5 years to see this stuff.
Really? Wow.
Brady, I want to come back to you if you're there, but if not, I'll go to Tia. I want to kind of hear state of DeFi on Hedera. And I have your screen, and then we're going to move over to Tia here as well. But Brady, I'm going to pull your screen up if that's cool, and give us kind of the rundown of what you guys are seeing.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, so to give some background on Bonzo Finance, I'm the co-founder and CEO at Bonzo Finance Labs. We contribute to the open source development of Bonzo Finance on the Hedera network. Initially, the protocol launched back in November to support lending and borrowing. And ecosystems in DeFi, when you look at any other network, tend to evolve in like an order of operations. So as GRELF mentioned, we had decentralized exchanges that came online like 2 or 3 years ago with Saucer Swap really leading the charge on that. There's liquid staking with Stater Labs, which offers Hbar X for liquid staking of Hbar. You have other decentralized exchanges like HSuite. Bridging is something that's coming online. So we've got Hashport as an initial bridge on Hedera, but there's also support for layer 0. So all these things are sort of culminating together. And at the time when launching Bonzo, credit markets were something that was a gap in the ecosystem, and the timing was right, and all the pieces were there and available and ready to deploy. So that was awesome. What happens when you have all of these different protocols that exist within an ecosystem is they tend to become very interdependent on each other, and the sum of all of the parts are greater than each individual protocol individually. And when you have that, you have the ability to start to do more advanced DeFi strategies within the ecosystem, and you see this a lot by institutions where they'll do things like supplying USDC as collateral within a lending protocol, borrowing 2 other assets, supplying that as liquidity within a decentralized exchange. That's sort of that like interdependence that I was referring to there, or using lending protocols for looping, or doing concentrated liquidity management within a decentralized exchange. And a lot of these strategies take significant amount of maintenance. Kind of have to know what you're doing. There's additional like monitoring and activity that's involved for them. And the timing is right within the Hedera ecosystem now to be able to automate some of those strategies that are available, but that some users may not know about, or that they're a bit intimidating. And so, by the end of August or within September, so towards the end of Q3, Bonzo Finance is adding Vault strategies as part of its offering. So what that looks like is users within the ecosystem can come to this Vaults page on Bonzo Finance. And just a note, these are just example strategies that are available. So none of this is completely finalized. But they would be able to come to this Vaults page and be able to select different options here. And within each option, so we could go to, let's say, Hbar USDC. within each of these vaults is a different strategy. And the way that it works is users can deposit liquidity into the vault depending on which assets it supports. The vault routes the liquidity to various protocols in the ecosystem. So in this case, it's Saucer Swap and it's this USDC Hbar pool. And it automatically manages the liquidity for them in a way that optimizes for yield and at the same time helps improve market efficiency for the liquidity pool within Saucer Swap to help with mitigating price impact and slippage. And so, this management ends up being a good thing for the ecosystem, a good thing for token-based projects, and a good thing for users because it opens up the door to more accessibility. So we're really excited to be able to roll this out. I think it's a testament to how how mature the Hedera DeFi ecosystem has become and evolved, and just the ability to even bring this product to an ecosystem sort of proves that. So we're super excited.
I think another one of the things that we, just over the past 24 hours that was as kind of another thing that's been requested forever is the Gnosis, the multi-sig stuff that I know that is kind of big from like the institutional aspect. Brady, I know you probably have some interesting thoughts on that because you're kind of an OG in the ecosystem. Like, what do you just think in general about having something that's used obviously as almost like a standard in other ecosystems now kind of being available in Hedera?
Yeah, to give some additional insight into that, we're catalysts for that coming online. We're working with a few partners where, as a prerequisite, like you said, institutions or asset issuers, they require multi-sig infrastructure and security infrastructure within the ecosystem as just a baseline table stakes thing to be able to operate. And so, we were working with someone where that was a requirement. Again, sort of one of the kudos to Hedera Foundation, just fast moving on anything that's really needed in the ecosystem to help push it forward. And so, they supported that substantially. And I think it's great for projects also. It's something that we haven't had before. Treasury management is a very important thing, and making sure that you do that securely is really important. And it just opens the door to more institutions and liquidity providers being able to onboard onto Hedera. It's one more sort of box to check. So I'm a huge fan, and we're personally as in supporting Bonzo going to be utilizing that as well.
I'm kind of like, I'm hoping that we get to the point, and I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm just wondering what the catalyst is. Like, again, I kind of default to like, there's some ecosystems that you look at that just seemingly like, I don't know, do things that almost take off at different times. Like, and I feel like you look at like what Ethereum was able to accomplish in 2021 with like stuff building on top of Ethereum. Regardless of what you think about Solana and the network going down and everything else, like, and memes or whatever, like, they still had a ton of success with like projects launching. I think it's like literally only a matter of time in certain like utility driven ecosystems for the same thing to happen, but hopefully in like a more sustainable way. And I think, Wendy, I know you're going to go, but Brady, I think what you say is correct. It's like, there's all this, especially in Hedera, there's all this kind of synergy between the projects, because a lot of the projects that are still here in Hedera have been like building for years. And it's almost like a rising tide, lifts, all the boats. I'm just wondering what the catalyst is to start seeing, it's everything we've been talking about. It's the multi-sig, it's Kraken, it's Robinhood. It's like all the stuff that we're talking about. And it's almost like, I don't know.
It's honestly like, it's folks like Brady and like Hashpack and like all the like everybody that's building on Hedera. It's all of these services essentially coming together, and providers and projects that are coming together to create really dope stuff. And what ends up happening is eventually you're going to create something is going to be created that is going to solve a problem for a lot of people that they're going to be very interested in, and it's going to take off. But the really cool thing about it is that you have all of these supporting projects that make the headlining project works and function properly. And that's why I love low level capitalism. Like when I say that I'm a capitalist and I love it, I'm not talking about like the crazy scary capitalism with like the banks or with like the cable companies or whatever. I'm talking about crypto projects that are actually able to compete in this open market, that are able to build and to create really, really, really cool stuff. And then it's just like they're fighting for the top spot, and it's positive competition. It's good. But I think that that's something that Hedera definitely has. We've got all these cool projects that are actually built out that the foundation is actually supporting. Because let's face it, there's a lot of other foundations out there that say, hey, I'm going to support if you build an XYZ, but can you really get grants? Can you really get help? Can you really get support? So I think that that's what is essentially going to take off. But it's really about honing in on what can you make that's going to solve a problem for a lot of people and get folks excited, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I think that, I think we're going to get to a point in crypto. I mean, Wendy, you and I, we probably are around the same amount of time in this space, and you get to a point where like you almost become disenchanted by crypto. Like I've become disenchanted a lot of times because I kind of know how a lot of like this industry works, and it's kind of like, I think that we're hopefully moving towards a place where like authenticity and building real things is going to take over the, let's buy 100,000 followers for our account and act like we're a real project, because you see that all throughout crypto. And it's just like crazy. I'm just like, how do people not realize this is what's going on across the board? Yeah. And I think you're going to just you're going to start seeing the shift.
No comment from the peanut gallery. No, but honestly, like, like on TikTok and my other, like, I focus a lot on the short form content. Like, I don't really post it on X because X is a little bit toxic, but I'm really focusing a lot on my retail audience, and they're more prevalent on Facebook and on Instagram. And the reason why I talk a lot about my audience and whatnot is because I've got 1.1 million across TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And the reason why that matters is because that's a different market segment. It's different groups of people. So I read the comments, I go through that, because again, a lot of us focus on X, which is great. But at the same time, there's real retail, there's real people out there that are waiting, that are excited. So that's why I like talking about projects that actually have something that they can look into, that's, I don't want to say tangible, but that's actually built out, that they can use or they can figure out how to use. But yeah. I do have to go because I do have a call. I apologize for being late. But Gerbert, you're adorable.
Well, thank you so much, Wendy. I mean, you're not half bad yourself.
Thanks. And then May, it was so nice finally getting to chat with you. And Brady, it's always good to see you again. And then I don't want to
Basile.
Say it again.
Basile.
Yeah. I'm very bad at pronunciation, and please don't take it as a form of disrespect. I greatly, greatly apologize, but it was a pleasure meeting you. Tia, it was a pleasure meeting with you and chatting. And then Solomon, is that how I say it correct?
That's fine. Yes, that works. Solomon is perfect.
I'll tell you something private about that name in DMs. But anyways, okay. You guys, it was a pleasure chatting with you. And again, Hedera is kind of major and whatnot. But I'll check you guys later.
Well, you heard it.
Definitely
thank
major.
you, Wendy. We appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, I want to pull up Tia's, and Tia, I hope we have audio back with you. Let me pull your back up.
Hi. Yeah, I can't hear you. It's really, really bad. I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you. Let's be quick before it cuts out.
Yeah,
again.
Tell us about the Good Society, what you guys are doing in July.
Well, we've just done this amazing exhibition for Plastic Free July, and we've been doing them for the last 5 years, actually. It started during the pandemic.
We lost audio, Tia.
We lost you. We lost you again. I'll narrate what we're seeing. We got some pictures, plastic, some naked people. Not really sure what that has to do with plastic, but there's some naked people, some plastic flowers. We got a video. I guess there was a gallery.
Way to flag her and tell her that? Let me see if Tia.
I mean, I think I'm probably saying what she wants to be saying. Plastic is bad, but we're making art out of it, baby. And that's good.
Oh, I feel so bad when this stuff happens. And obviously...
Then we got naked people, a bag of people heads, one of those. That was crazy. Oh my God.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
guys
can hear you.
All right, so it looks like Plastic Free July art exhibition. I think that there's going to be sales. So obviously not financial advice from our end or anything, but a digital art online auction on Centex. Every $5 raised, approximately 6 kilograms of plastic, and the link is below in here. So there's the
Poor
Centex.
Tia, she's still talking.
I know. There's the
I feel
Centex.
so bad. She's giving the performance of a lifetime right now, and nobody can hear it.
I know.
She look at her. I mean, look at the energy there.
I feel so
I mean,
bad.
she's practiced this. She's got hand movements down. I mean, this was going to be the speech of a lifetime.
I feel horrible.
It's
we're gonna bring Tia back on. We'll have to bring Tia back on, and we'll probably do it next week or something like that. But
I
Tia,
feel like we got a lot of the gist
Here
from
again.
those motions.
We didn't
There
hear. We didn't hear any of that.
Hey, really?
We
None
didn't
of it.
hear any of that.
None of
We
it.
didn't hear one word.
I can hear you now. Well, hold on. I can't hear you now either. I guarantee you it's your headphones.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start again? Sorry.
You can try, but if it's not working, I'm gonna go like this, so you know it's not working. So the floor is
Okay.
yours. Go ahead.
Okay, so all over again. So basically,
One more
we've got
time,
this-
baby.
One more time. We've got this incredible art exhibition that's happening in London. It's in Times Square in New York again. It's been up for 4 weeks. It's across the Netherlands, and loads of amazing artists have done stuff to create awareness of plastic pollution in the oceans. And all the art's being minted as well on Centex. And then we're going to release some editions, and 50% is going to go towards collecting plastic from the ocean, and the other 50% goes back towards the artist. So we just really wanted to introduce really cool art to the Hedera ecosystem, because it's such an amazing, ecosystem. It's so cheap, it's so affordable, it's so fast, it's so secure, and it's just brilliant for artists to be using, to be like minting their work. Like, it's so sustainable. So we just really want to try to improve the art side of the platforms. There's so many artists, and art creates culture and it introduces new people into the ecosystem. So we've done that, and artists are brilliant. There's Todd Francis, who's been working in the skateboarding industry for 30-40 years with all the incredible best skateboarding companies that does skateboarding graphics. There's Tom, who's worked with Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, Rolling Stones. And we always get loads of press on it because everyone just loves it, utilizing the power of art to talk about, these really important sustainability issues and social issues. So everyone loves it, all the artists just love it, having their work on the billboards. And then it's in Times Square. So if anyone's in New York, go and see it in Times Square, because that's always really amazing. So yeah, I mean, that's it really. And we've done it for the last 5 years. And we'll just keep doing it kind of every year, building the momentum, introducing new artists, and getting them on board with. That's me with my art in Shoreditch.
That's awesome.
Which was super fun to see. Yeah. And it's so great. One of the artists, his mum was in tears when she saw her son's work on the billboard in Times Square. She just couldn't believe it, because it's so hard for artists as well. They just work so hard, and it's just so hard for them to break through. So yeah, this kind of works on loads of different layers. So yeah, I just love doing it, and I've done one or two a few times a year, and I'll continue to do them. Try to do at least one a year, definitely.
It's really awesome. And you mentioned over the next couple of weeks, there's some of the drops happening on Centex, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we're going to start releasing some small editions from tomorrow, and we actually released a free mint of one of the pieces in the show by Jasmina, which said "It's up to us." She's an incredible typographic illustrator that's worked with Adobe and Apple. All of these artists, they've worked with everyone, and they're all super established. So yeah, we released that as a free mint last week, and I think we nearly broke Centex. There was 1,000 new users that signed up in half an hour, and the platform nearly broke, and all of that kind of minted out, which was super fun. And then anyone that has that free mint gets like a 24-hour kind of like early access to the editions, which start tomorrow. So yeah, it's super fun. We're just trying to just like experiment in this area and like slowly onboard more artists and get people engaged with kind of, you know, collecting art on Hedera. What do you think?
No, I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really freaking cool. I think it's awesome to see, you know, especially for, I think artists are kind of similar to musicians in a way, because I kind of played music for years, and although I'm not an artistic from like a drawing or, you know, being able to paint standpoint, my wife is, and all my kids are. And I remember when I used to play music, I would just like even being like in the local newspaper or even like hearing your song on like listener supported radio was like a huge deal.
Massive.
I would imagine that you're getting a lot of the same feedback whenever they, you know, artists see their work on a billboard in you know, downtown New York. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I think it's great. And I think
it's huge.
And I think that the you know, the reasoning behind it is obviously something to kind of stand behind as well. So yeah, kudos. And like I said, happy to as some of those drops occur, if we're doing a space next week or the week after, bring you back on, and maybe Patricia and Centex, and bring you back onto another Hashpack all hands space. That
I have a question for you, Tia.
Yeah.
So how does the plastic, you know, like what is the initiative? How do you collect it? Can you hear me?
Can't hear.
Oh,
let's go round robin here, as I know we're getting audio issues. Baz, since you got the mic, what are you looking forward to with Legends of the Past? And I'll pull up your screen here back again. 1 second. And congrats on all the stats. Congrats on the achievements. I know normally, like, it's so hard for me to, like, I mentioned this kind of behind the scenes sometimes. Like, I don't get to participate nearly as much in a lot of the stuff that's being built as I would like to, just because I'm normally like busy trying to do this stuff and put together podcasts and all this stuff. And it's kind of frustrating. I definitely did have the opportunity to play Legends of the Past, and I thought it was pretty freaking cool to see like a live gaming app. And it's cool to see this type of a response too. People are obviously kind of chomping at the bit for this to be, you know, released kind of to the masses on Hedera. The test flight app was super easy to use on iOS. But yeah, Baz, floor is yours. Closing statements, and then I'll do round robin and we'll ramp down here.
Well, thank you. Well, it's just the beginning, just the beginning for Legend of the Past and for Hedera. So I'm very happy toward the next stage, because now we are rolling out like an updated version of the game based on your feedback, but also more importantly, we've been building also for months on the enhanced version of the core gameplay. So I'm super excited for this next step, and I can't wait to like open it again to have even more players, and yeah, keep on building with you guys. So then we have the full on-chain version of Legend of the Past with the whole progression system and the whole game modes.
Well, I definitely want to tell everybody watching right now, few thousand of you, go check out at legends_of_past. These guys have been building out on Hedera for a couple of years. This is one of those kind of testaments towards, like, you know, perseverance, continuing to build in this industry. I know a lot of crypto is like, what have you done for me yesterday? And Legends of the Past have been bound out for a few years, so they've been here for a while.
I just want to say one last thing, and I want to give a huge shout out to May here, because like May was the first person I literally reached out to like at the beginning, before like launching the Twitter and Discord. Before that, I literally like DM'd her on LinkedIn, like not traditional crypto, like literally like Web2 like LinkedIn, and telling her that I was like interested by building on Hedera, but knew like very little. That was like in September, before September, like in 2022, like maybe like before the summer. And like she was like super like welcoming, helped me a lot, put me like in contact with like other builders. So yeah, thank you, May, for this original first call. Maybe I stayed on Hedera because of you, but thank you for that.
So happy for you.
Brady, I'm going to move over to you here. I know we all have a hard stop probably in 10 minutes, but Brady, vaults are coming to Bonzo, so that's an awesome achievement. And I definitely, like, I should preface, like, I definitely want to do like unique segments, like an actual showcase segment with anybody that kind of wants it here. And I think that that's what we were maybe planning to do with Bonzo and Legends of the Past. Let's slate one of those in maybe for August. I got a lot of kind of requests at once to do a space. I figured bringing everybody together was cool, and a huge shout out to Wendy for coming as well. But Brady, what are you looking forward to? State of Hedera right now, all the achievements recently, what's coming up for Bonzo, and yeah.
Yeah, no, super appreciative of this, and I think it's always good to jump on with other folks in the ecosystem. As mentioned before, everything is so so interdependent. So it's nice to get everyone together, and happy to do an individual session with you in August. Most exciting thing is Bonzo Vaults. All of our focus is being placed on that right now. There's audits with Hbar that are being completed that just started last week, which is one of the requirements that we have before going live. I think just in general, you mentioned how there's a breakout usually where things will eventually pick up a ton of steam. And I think, at least from what I've observed, it happens sort of all at once. And it usually is the momentum that you feel before that happening. And it definitely feels like within the Hedera ecosystem, with everything that's going on right now, all the hard work that all of these teams are doing, the support from Hedera Foundation, everyone feels super aligned and focused on making the ecosystem successful. And so I feel like it's just a matter of time before we have that moment where it all happens at once, and we see a huge influx of participation. So I'm excited mostly about that. And if you're interested in Hedera DeFi, definitely go check out Bonzo Finance, lending and borrowing capabilities today, and then Vault's coming soon. And just a reminder that there's always risks involved in DeFi. Please do your own research, consult a professional, only utilize how much you are willing to lose. There's always risks involved there.
Yep. Yeah, nobody on this panel is a financial advisor, except maybe GRELF. But I still don't think GRELF is either. GRELF, closing thoughts.
I am a financial advisor. I've got many visors. I'm not wearing it right now, but I've got many visors. Don't worry.
Many of them. Well, any closing thoughts from you, GRELF? You've been here for a while. Do you feel like the winds are changing? Or what do you feel like's going on? What are you excited about? Or maybe you're not excited, just maybe in general. Close us out here, and then I'm going to get to May and Tia, and then we'll ramp down. But the floor is yours, GRELF.
I'm excited. Reminding, I'm Gerbert the GRELF. I'm a Memecoin thing, crypto coin on Hedera. 3 years of being whatever it is I am on this network is coming up in August 30th. So it's kind of the crypto birthday for my coin. So we're gonna have some fun stuff then. I got some cool stuff coming for August. As far as Hedera, people seem pretty happy. Me personally, if Hbar is worth more than 20 cents, I'm good. I can relax. I can chill out. When it goes under that amount, I start wailing in the night. I start screaming.
Yeah.
I don't get any sleep. I'm scared. I check the price every 5 seconds. I look in the mirror, sweat is just dripping down my face. But we're above 20 cents right now, baby, so we ain't got those problems.
Well, thank you, GRELF. We appreciate you coming for sure. May.
Yeah. It's exciting times, and the team at Hashback, we are buckling down for a really big push. Lots of things coming out, lots of plans, lots of things around PAC and the stuff that we're building with that. It feels like we haven't really kind of said a lot about what we've been doing in the past year or so, and that's because we've been heads down building, but a lot of those plans are coming to fruition, and a lot of those partnerships and a lot of the things that we've been doing with people who are building on Hedera are looking real fun. So definitely keep an eye on our Twitter, because you're going to see a lot of PAC related stuff in the next little while, and it's going to be new, it's going to be exciting, and then all the things that we can do to make the user experience on Hedera even better, even more fun, even more engaging. That's our wheelhouse. We have a great community. So if you are not familiar with Hedera at all, or you want to pick up your first hash pack and get some pack token, get some Hbar, get some GRELF, come hop in our Discord and say hi, because we will give you a great welcome and just like get you rolling, because it is exciting times in Hedera, and we're really looking forward to the future here.
Awesome. Tia, closing thoughts from you. You got if your mic's working, and then we're going to close out. I think we're going to close out. Well, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Tia and the Good Society. You can give Tia a follow at the Good Society. That's LE Good Society. Really cool to see all the kind of some of the press here, and great initiative. You can see the Hedera logo right on there as well. Let's live with less.
I'm back.
Plastic. Yeah, I'll let you. You got
Hooray.
it.
I'm so sorry.
Any closing thoughts from you, Tia, and then we're going to ramp down.
I just want to apologize for the connection. It's really bad tonight. But yeah, I think, just everyone check out the exhibition. It's really cool. There's loads of cool artists, and check out the editions when we release them, and kind of, just try to understand kind of how much plastic you're using and consuming, and what that does to the environment, and how you can maybe lessen your usage of plastic, through this initiative or through other things. I just really want to see kind of like Hedera taken out into the real world, more into the Web2 space, and so that people can really start just, even just becoming aware of it, and what it is and what it does, firstly, so they can start kind of, getting on board with it. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tia. And don't worry about the connection. I mean, it's Murphy's Law, and we're on, we're doing this stuff. We're talking about like really cool technology, but we're on like about as Web 2 of a platform as we can get, which is like, StreamYard, and then we're streaming to Twitter. I want to give a huge shout out to WendyO as well. Wendy did not have to come on today, and hopefully we can do a couple, more of these. I know how busy Wendy is and everybody else in this space, but awesome to have her come on and share her thoughts. She's been an advocate for Hedera and other utility-driven ecosystems for quite some time. So it's really cool to hear kind of an OG's insight into the space, and it was awesome to have her. Legends of the Past and Baz, thank you so much. Bonzo and Brady, thank you so much. GRELF, and then Hashpack, who helps to make these podcasts possible. Thank you guys so much.